of this organization that we celebrate this evening. And it is now known as the African Federation of Optometry Students. He himself, referring now to Dr. Levi, trusted us with his dream and his vision. And as students, we have been working hard to at least do justice to such an optometrist that saw potential in us as students. Although the dream of AFOS did not come from a student, but it is for the students and it is led by the students. On that note, on behalf of all the optometry students in AFOS, we are so grateful, Dr. Levi, for such an opportunity to grow not only as student optometrists, but as leaders and advocates for such an opportunity to grow and grow also largely bringing to life the dream that you envisioned, sir. Thank you so much. To give an overview of what AFOS has achieved in the past year, we have established and resuscitated AFOS chapters in the University of Benin in Nigeria, in Universidade Lurio in Mozambique, the Federal University of Technology in Owerri, Nigeria, at the University of Johannesburg in South Africa, University of Ilorin, Nigeria, and very soon, I'm so excited to say that we will be establishing chapters in the University of KwaZulu-Natal and in the University of Limpopo in South Africa, which will mean that all universities in South Africa will have an AFOS chapter. So there is a lot that we have done and a lot of chapters that we have resuscitated. We have also sponsored students to attend the AFCO OAU Scientific Conference that was held in Kenya, or rather in Uganda. Sorry for that. We have presented at the African Council of Optometrists in the 2024 conference. AFOS has had a multiple of webinars that were aimed at educating students about relevant topics and also optometrists alike. Topics such as the diversity of careers in optometry and the role of optometrists in mild traumatic brain injuries, which was very exciting and interesting to learn. We established contacts rather with relevant organizations such as the American Academy of Optometry, Bosch International, the IAPB, Africademics, Optoglobe, and many more other organizations. And we have signed a memorandum with over 20 plus African optometry students across the continent. We have met also with African Optometry Students Associations. And today, I am so excited to announce that Ms. Lina, who is from Africademics, she is the Chief Executive Officer. She really wanted to be the one giving us the surprise, or the announcement rather of the surprise, as we celebrate our 1-year anniversary. And the announcement is that AFOS executives have been given the opportunity to tap into the scholarship program that Africademics has. So now we'll be able to access the postgraduate scholarships, and we'll be able to complete modules to get certificates and just overall improve ourselves and our career journeys in readying us for the optometry world. In closing, I wanted to share my experience of being a part of AFOS and what I have learned so far. I have learned to be flexible and versatile and to better manage my time, as there is schoolwork and then there is the volunteering I do in AFOS. And this has been possible because I have been working with an amazing executive team, people that I would have never met because they are from different countries in Africa, which I'm so grateful for. They have now become family. I have gotten to network and build connections with great optometrists in the field, such as Dr. Diane, and I've got to also interact and have conversations with her, which has been amazing, and other optometrists. And yes, in closing, I would say that I've learned leadership in its raw and in its real sense. Dr. Levi, who has been guiding us and leading us is, to me, the embodiment of how leadership should be. Leadership is affording people an opportunity and a chance to run with a vision and grow while doing so. May today's celebration spark and ignite passion in students for volunteer work and being a part of organizations outside of their schoolwork for their personal improvement and growth. AFOS does not only seek to improve the future of every single optometry student, but it aims to improve the practice of optometry in the entire continent. Students, please know that tonight and moving forward that you are a formidable force. It has been an honor to be the mouthpiece of optometry students in Africa and of this amazing organization. We are celebrating a milestone, 1 year of dedication, impact, and progress. Leadership is an action and not a position. And I want to thank you all for listening to my speech, and I want to give everyone a warm welcome. Let's celebrate and let's be in our jubilant spirit. And thank you so much. Over to you, Nathaniel.
Thank you very much. That was a wonderful remark from you, Madam President. We really appreciate your work so far, and we believe that from here there are greater opportunities. Thank you very much. That was a very beautiful opening remarks. What a great set of achievements that AFOS has gathered throughout just within a year. So I can just imagine what will happen within 2 years, within 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and then the many more years to come. Thank you very much. You have led a very good team and you have served well. We really appreciate you and your team. Thank you so much. So we have come to the period where we would want to go straight into the inauguration service. We would invite one man personally I really admire so much. At the beginning of the program, I made mention of Dr. Levi. Most of us have heard of him, most of us have seen of his works before, but we haven't gotten the opportunity to have an interaction with him. When you do, you get to know that this is a man of humble beginning. This is a man who loves putting students' body even beyond what he personally sees as his work. And we really appreciate that. Dr. Levi put up together AFOS last year around this time with a group of people, Philele, Nathaniel, Chinelo, Ijoma, Benedicta, and then Chance, to put across, to steer the affairs of AFOS. But then again, the time has come for them to pass on the baton to another group of people to lead. So I would leave the room to Dr. Levi now. He will say a little bit about himself, what inspired him to put up AFOS, and then we will take it from there. Thank you very much, Dr. Levi. Please, you can take over.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Nathaniel, for that elaborate discussion and the introduction of who Levi is. Look, this is not about me. It's about the students today. And I'm just so honored to be part of this great movement. And I think Optometry came late to the table, but we are doing better. We're doing better because we've got amazing team of students who work day and night. These guys meet at odd hours. They come from different parts of Africa, so time difference is a big issue. But yet, each time there's a task, they pull it off and they do it so amazingly well. So I'm just too proud of you guys for what you're doing and for taking this dream on to where it is today. Look, I must say, being asked to do this presentation to me was humbling. And it was humbling because I find it as a great honor to be part of this group. I wish I was still a student at this point, you know. So many things would have been different with the way our career choices and our planning moving forward kind of evolved. You know, we struggled during our time, we found our fate, we made mistakes. If we knew there were things like this, there were people that we could call on at some point for advice, I think many of us would have had this journey a little bit easier. But again, that's because the times are changing. Today, we celebrate not just leadership, we celebrate student leadership, which is a special kind of leadership. It takes courage to be a student. where you have to manage events, meetings, schoolwork, and still volunteer, like Afelele said, and still act surprised when you're asked to prepare a PowerPoint slide in 10 minutes. That's the pressure students face. That's the world we live in. But truly, AFOS is not just a student organization. It's a movement. And when I mean it's a movement, look at the social media. It's buzzing because the students have taken the lead to what actually belongs to them. There is no future for optometry without students. And I say that again. Optometry in Africa has got no future if they don't embrace students. They are the ones who've got the idea, they've got the power to innovate, they think outside the box. Traditional things don't work for them. They are tired of corruption and bad leadership. We need a change, and that change can only come from us here. So, to the outgoing executives, I sincerely want to appreciate you guys. Thank you for taking this dream on. You've helped to shape a vision for African optometry students. Many didn't even think this was possible, but you saw future in this. You've created opportunities, you forged partnerships, and probably you denied yourself so much sleep. But every hour you spent planning this event is planted a seed that will bloom in future leaders. So when you leave optometry as a student and then go on to practice, you can look back at efforts and say, yes, I was part of the beginning. I knew where this started. That is a joy to be part of this group. To the new team, welcome to the deep end. I say deep end because there's a lot of work to do. The first year has started with a blast. I don't know what the second year is going to look like. I think we'll aim for higher achievements. So there's a lot of work to be done. You've been elected not just to have your names on the AFOS website,
Kai ka aje wani abu nan ba za ka iya aje a dakin ka ba ko?
but every hour you spent and every hour you're going to spend, do it with boldness, integrity, and perhaps a little bit of caffeine just to stay awake. You will face tough decisions. We'll discover that replaying all is both a blessing and a curse. So you need to pay close attention to details, read people's biography before they join meetings, and above all, go online to search for their accomplishments. But above all, you have to learn that leadership is not just about the loudest voice. It's about listening, serving people, and turning ideas into impact. So I welcome you to this great organization. And I wish that if every of the new members are here, the new executives, and I will share the slide so you could see who these people are, these amazing individuals. And if we can just quickly give a thumbs up to these outgoing executives, you can use your chat function there. Just raise a hand for them because these guys have done amazingly well. And we wish them well, those who are heading forward to become interns. We do think that we will meet along the way again. Please do not let FO slip your mind. During our events, do contribute. Talk to the new leaders that you're handing over to, support them. And I know people like Ijoma are still working behind the scenes, managing the social media sites, coordinating with the already existing team. Nathaniel is here today, doing his best to still support this dream, even though they've graduated. Chance is always there to call on to do some design or web graphics. So these individuals, even though they've left the board as members, as executive members, they still work very closely with the already existing team. So thank you so much. I will go to the right format now, and I will prefer if all the executive members who are here can put their videos on. We need to see who these individuals are. And I'll just quickly stop sharing so we can see your faces. If you're part of the new executive of AFOS, would you mind switching on your video? We're now in the right session where you're going to swear an oath to us. So when you disappoint this group tomorrow, we will call on people like Dario to hold you accountable. So if you're here and you're part of the executive team, please, we want to see your video on. Let's see who you are. All right, so if I can ask you to kind of repeat after me, we're going to swear an oath to this leadership. This is a very serious moment. You're committing to leading this big organization to the next stage, and it's in your hands to decide how that rolls. So I put your name in there, do solemnly swear to uphold the vision and mission of AFOS, to lead with integrity,
AFOS,
purpose,
integrity,
and service, to represent the voices of our peers with humility and strength, to build bridges, across borders,
to build bridges across
ideas and generations,
years and generations,
and to always strive for excellence in optometry. Even when my Wi-Fi network is weak.
even when my network
I accept the responsibility entrusted to me.
I respect the responsibility of entrusted.
And I promise to serve with dedication, collaboration, and vision.
I promise to serve with dedication,
collaboration, and vision.
So help me knowledge and clear refraction.
So help me knowledge and a clear
Promise to serve.
All right. Thank you, guys. Give yourself a hand of applause here. This is really great to see. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you for accepting to be part of this group, for taking the leadership role. And I do want to see you guys. I wish you guys all well. And everybody here supports you, so feel free to reach out to them. We want to see you succeed. So don't think you're alone. There's a lot of people behind the scenes willing to support at each time we call upon them. So please take that opportunity. And thank you for that leadership as well, Afelele. Thanks so much. All right. That ends my inauguration, and I leave that again to Nathaniel.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Levi. Hi, everyone. Confirm. Can somebody just confirm that they can hear me? My name is Chinelo Ikeli. And
I hear you.
part of
Yes. Can hear you. Go on.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And I am part of the outgoing ESCOs and also the incoming ESCOs. It's a privilege to take over the mic at this point. And so at this point of the event, we'll be going right into our first speaker. Can somebody just, hello?
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go on.
All right. Thank you very much. So at this point of the event, we'll be going straight into our first speaker. It's very important that we come to celebrate, but it's also important that we get a level of knowledge even as we celebrate. So our first speaker is none other than Dr. Obi Malope. I really hope I pronounced that correctly. He's a young dynamic leader within the healthcare industry who has championed and pioneered various innovative products and solutions that are revolutionizing the way optometry businesses and businesses in general operate. He's currently the managing director of Vision Strides Limited. He's also the co-founder of iAfrica Media. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Dr. Obi Malope. Dr. Obi, you have the mic.
Good evening to all the students. What a great honor and privilege it is to be part of this esteemed event with you guys. I entered the eye care industry in 2004. So this year is a total of 21 years of me being able to be part of this amazing industry. And when I look at how we entered the industry, the profession, compared to what your generation is currently doing and has already started taking charge and accountability and responsibility for, I am extremely excited for what the next 5 years of eye care on the African continent looks like, because every country is pulling together. When I entered the profession, I never knew people in other countries. All I knew was optometry in my country. And so when I look at what has happened with AFOS over the past year, I just stand amazed and in awe that wow, 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 wow. If the world knew what is about to come from eye care from the continent of Africa because of AFOS, because of young students like yourselves who are part of this amazing organization, we're going to shake things up. And so I just wanted to give you guys a bit of like background in terms of when I was a young optometrist entering this amazing profession. Some of the things that I did was that the university that I was part of was a very small optometry school within the university. It was like only running for about 4 or 5 years. So there wasn't a lot of people that could serve as reference points in terms of how to navigate the optometry profession. So one of the things that I personally did was that I then went out of my way to then ask myself, I'm coming here as a minority individual in a profession that has been existing in South Africa for over 100 years. So the first question that I then asked myself as a student was, what problem am I going to solve that as I navigate optometry school, that I will learn, equip myself with the necessary knowledge, expose myself with as much as I can, so that as I finish optometry school, I will then know that when I enter the marketplace, I will be very clear on what my value proposition will be. What am I going to be doing in the profession? The kind of optometric journey I want to have. And so the myriad of ideas was very broad based, but this presentation is very short. I'm just going to give you a few slides of some ideas that I was playing around with that helped me identify the right opportunities that I could focus on throughout my eye care journey. Because if you're just going to be another optometrist, you're going to miss out on what else you can be able to do within this amazing profession. The very first thing that I did was I connected with leaders in my profession. So as a student, every holiday and every weekend, I worked free of charge in various optometric practices. When school's holidays came, I would ask my friends who come from different provinces, different towns, different cities, if they could accommodate me for like a week or two during the holidays so that I can go and find optometry practices where they come from. So by the time I qualified as an optometrist, I had already visited about 100 optometric practices that I had worked in as a student. So you could just imagine 100 optometry practices that I had spent more than 5 days by the time I finished optometry school. So throughout that period of me being in optometry school, this is the following things that I started looking at in terms of, okay, I'm seeing all these optometry practices. What is involved in building an optometric practice? So I realized that optometrists think about market research, location, equipment, building a team, tactics in terms of marketing, how to grow their brands, how do they network and position their practices. Over and above that, as an individual optometrist within an optometric environment, some people focus on equipping themselves with increasing their competency skills. They focus on patient assessments. They focus on communication and patient education. There's a myriad of opportunities within our profession. So what I did, I then said, I don't want to be in the exam room, but what I want to do is go and build a business that will help me help optometrists who are all focused on these things that you see on your screen. So throughout my early years of being an optometry student, as well as being an optometrist, all I did when I went into an optometry practice was I looked at how do these 10 things that you see on your screen unfold in an optometry practice. Over and above that, I then took it a step further and I said, okay, I have gathered all this information. How do I monetize and start building a career So I took all the skills that I'd learned over the duration of my optometric studies, as well as the first 3 years of me being an optometrist. And I then decided, let me set up a business called Vision Straight. And all that we simply did was we provided these solutions that you see on the screen. So my second tip to you, the first one was connect with leaders who are already at the level at which you are aspiring for. What do I mean by that? Connect with the person that is already nearing retirement, who has already had a successful journey in eye care, who's already in their late 60s, that can help you understand what each decade is going to look like, so that you can learn from what did they do well, so that and what did they do wrong. Then you spend time with someone who's in their 50s, who's now questioning, have I lived my best life? Left with 10 to 15 years in this eye care journey. What do I still need to do to make sure that the next 15 to 10 years will be that which I wanted to be? So I used to spend a lot of time with someone who was in their 50s, who's now thinking, I've already had 20 to 30 years in this amazing profession. I'm left with 10 to 15. What's next? Then I also spend time with people in their 40s who have now established themselves as key opinion leaders, influencers within their respective fields within the profession. I spend a lot of time with those people because those people are the ones that were taking the baton from the previous generation. And then I spend a lot of time with people in their 30s and the people in their 20s. So when you look for mentors, don't look for mentors that only fit the framework in which you want to operate in, because you're going to be limiting what you're exposing yourself for. So what I personally did, I looked for those different types of mentors, and then that helped me navigate the process that I need to work out for myself to say, if I'm going to establish a business that currently does not exist in optometric practices or in the optometric profession, what do I then need to do? So I looked at these 4 key pillars, and this is what I identified as something that will be unique and different, that will distinguish me from every other optometrist in South Africa, in Africa, and across the globe. And so my suggestion to you, or my advice, is that don't just be comfortable with the status quo. Go out of your way to look for people, look for innovative ways in which you can say, I'm going to be different. It might look scary, but I'm going to go and do it. And by the way, I'll share these slides to the AFOS team so that you guys can do this. And by the way, this is just a summarized presentation. I can also send a link to the in-depth presentation of all these things when I go into specific details in terms of how we went about step by step unpacking each and every one of these things. So yeah, so that's basically what I did. And then over and above that, I then said, okay, I cannot just operate in a silo. So over the years, from the time I was also like yourself, I started attending optometric conferences. And I when I look back, I used to be the only one, sometimes one of 2 or 3 students that would be at these conferences. You guys have the fortunate opportunity for connecting as students across the continent, but you've got access now to world leaders within the eye care environment that you can be able to connect with, so that going forward into 2026, 2027, 2025 included, we can start seeing you students attending these global conferences as students so that you can learn what's taking place. So for me, continuous education and training has been a key pillar of my journey in eye care. Industry support and involvement has been a key area that I focused on. I go to suppliers, I visit suppliers. If I'm, let's say in South Africa, and I look at, there's all these contact lens companies, all these lens manufacturing companies, frame companies, I literally call the sales reps and I visit their offices. I spend a day with a sales rep. I spend a day with a marketing manager. I spend a day with a business unit manager, trying to understand how those companies, organizations, and institutions work. I'm part of different organizations, whether it be contact lenses, whether it be low vision, whether it be pediatrics. I get involved with these different organizations. I might not be practicing as a pediatric optometrist or a clinical optometrist, but I'm part of these organizations so that I can constantly learn and understand where the industry is, versus where the industry is going. So that's something that I advise you to all be doing going forward. And yeah, so that's basically my journey. And as you saw in the beginning, the first slide that I had there, it showed iAfrica Media. My journey with Dr. Daryl Glover is he's from America, and him and I connected in 2015, 2016, in the early days of LinkedIn. We actually met through LinkedIn, and we connected on that platform, and we built a professional relationship the first year or two, and eventually we identified a need within the eye care space on the continent of Africa, and that's how iAfrica Media came about. So my story to you guys, or my speech to you guys, is just to say, get out of your comfort zone and do something. You identify something that you interests you, that concerns you, do something about it. And I'll leave you with that. Thank you very much, everyone.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Malope.
Please
That
just call
was
me
very
Obi. In South Africa, we're not doctors. We just there's very few people who are doctors, but in South Africa, our optometry degree, we are just optometrists, and I'm proud of that. So please just call me Obi.
okay, sir. Thank you so much for that correction. Thank you, Mr. Obi, for the presentation. It was very, very, very enlightening. If there's one thing I know that just kept resounding for me, was don't settle for the status quo. When you see something not going well, when you see something that you can, a space where you can effect change, go there and take up that space. Thank you so much. Within the next 5 minutes, we're just going to give opportunities for questions. If anybody has a question, if there's anything you feel you want clarification that was mentioned during the slide, during the session that you would want clarification on, you could unmute your mic and ask, or better still, just drop it on the comment section. We would have that session for the next 5 minutes. Anybody has a question? If there's no question.
Can I ask Obi a question as well?
Okay, Dr. Levi.
Yeah. So Obi, look, this is great. It's a really it's a very laudable journey for the commitment, personal efforts you made to really work on those problem areas you identified. Are there failures in this journey that you want to share with the student, and how did you overcome them? Maybe one of those notable ones.
Yes. Thank you very much for that question. That's actually a very nice question, Dr. Levi. The biggest one was that in optometry, I see optometry as having three different components. It's got a academic, a clinical, and a business side of it. I just believe that in the early years of optometry, the main focus was, or during my era, the main focus was a lot of time and focus and resources, investments, and all of that was spent on the academic and clinical aspects of optometry. So when I came knocking on doors to introduce the business offering, a lot of doors just kept on saying no. A lot of practices, a lot of optometric businesses kept on saying no. We don't see value in that. We don't understand, because they simply didn't understand it. They felt that, what do I know? I just have the same degree as they do. So what can I come and teach them in their businesses that they are not doing themselves? So we were having a lot of resistance in that. And eventually what changed it is that instead of knocking on doors that we had identified needing our services and our business solutions, we then approached businesses that were already operating at the top of their game, that didn't need the services that we were going to be providing. And what we then did, we said, look, if our service solutions elevate your business to another level, all we are asking for is a reference point. All we are asking for is a referral. All we are asking for is for you to mention us to your peers, to your colleagues. And that is one thing that greatly worked for us. It changed everything, because the one business that we targeted was the one business that was seen by many, many people in the industry as the top business in South Africa. And so when we worked with that business and changed it, that particular business owner then went and told people about the work that we had done for them. And that is how, but guess what? Guess how many proposals we did to that particular business? I think I sent about 9 over a period of about 4 years. And eventually they said yes. But it opened the doors to so many other opportunities as a result of that person saw the value in it. So what I can then advise to each and every single person listening to me now is that you are going to get doors shut on you. You are going to get people saying no. You are going to say, you're going to hear people say, no, we don't see any value in that. And it's going to hurt you. But don't give up. Stand steadfast. If you are strongly convicted about what you want to do that's going to add value to people, hold steadfast to your conviction and follow through. Change the strategy, change aspects of it. Find out what can you do to change that which you are currently doing so that the value that you want to add is that which you're going to be able to do at the end of the day. And that's what we did.
Thank you very much for that beautiful answer. There's another question. Someone says, what can one do to help identify the areas that interest them? So how do you identify the areas that interest you?
Spend less time just scrolling, read up, investigate. I listen to about 3 or 4 podcasts a day. I'm literally reading up on new things. The African chapter a few weeks ago had a session on AI and the eye care industry. Since that day, I thought I was clued up on AI. Since that presentation, I've been so clued up and glued on learning as much as I can about AI in the eye care industry and what does the future look like. So whenever I'm exposed through podcast or some post that I will see and it sparks interest, I will go and research further about it. When I get to a point where I feel like, wow, I'm learning so much, I look at the quickest possible way I can implement that in my current business solutions. So when I identify something of interest, I will go and read up on it and learn as much as I possibly can on that particular area, and I will put it into action as soon as possible. And for me, that's what's important, is that you don't always be learning for the sake of learning. Learn to implement the information that you are consuming. If you're just consuming things that you cannot apply in your life, then stop consuming that. Consume what you are able to apply. And that for me is how I stay challenging my mind so that it's staying fresh. It's constantly hungry for new things because I've already started implementing the stuff that I already gained as new information. So stay hungry and be quick to implement that which sparks even the slightest of interest to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stay hungry. So stay hungry. Thank you so much. Because of time, we're moving straight to the very next speaker, and that will be none other than Dr. Daryl Glover. Dr. Daryl is a trailblazing optometrist, branding expert, and passionate advocate for diversity in healthcare. With over 20 years of experience, he has held positions in the optometry field, bringing a comprehensive understanding of the profession and a commitment to advancing representation in eye care. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Dr. Daryl Glover. Dr. Daryl, you have the mic.
Thank you so much, and happy Saturday, everyone, and congratulations, 1-year anniversary. I don't know about you, but I'm super excited to be here for this amazing opportunity and hang out with all these rock stars in eye care. Now, before I get started, I have to say thank you to Levi for having me, but also I want everyone to turn off their mics just for me, because there's one thing that this young man that went prior to me didn't state. Although he's been in the game for quite a bit, 21 years, he didn't tell you guys that today is his birthday. And he took the time out of his busy schedule from his lovely wife, his beautiful son, Zion, to hang out with us today.
Wow.
So on the count of 3, I want us all to say happy birthday, OB. All right? So on 3, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Obi.
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 My love,
Happy
Obi.
birthday.
Happy birthday,
Mr.
Happy
Malute.
birthday, Obi Malute.
Awesome. Thank you
Happy
so much.
birthday.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. So let's go ahead and get started. I got a little bit of time here. I'm not going to eat up too much of your time. Today, I just want to talk to you about the power of mentorship. And I want to start off by sharing a story. I want you to sit back and think about before you even went to college, right? When you were a student and you were looking at maybe getting into optometry school. You're a pre-optometry student. And imagine a pre-optometry student trying to get in, but not able to get in due to the grades, the admissions tests, just not able to conquer and get across that finish line. But then at some point, that same student was able to get into optometry school. And while that student was in school, that student struggled. That student was a little lost in the sauce, right? They just didn't have what it took to get to the next level. But guess what? They eventually did. That same student finally graduated and started practicing. And when that student started to practice, they were a little uncertain on how to prescribe the right solutions for the patients that sat in front of them. Well, friends and family, that story is a real story. That story is the story of your favorite optometrist, me. The reason why I was able to get through optometry school and get into optometry school is because of the village that surrounds me. And when I say my village, I'm talking about the man up above, my parents, my friends, my loved ones, but most importantly, my mentors. So today I want to spend some time on the importance of mentorship, the power of mentorship. And what I really would like to do is define what mentorship is. I like to talk about what it takes to be a great mentee, what it takes to be a great mentor, and then also answer any questions afterwards as well. But when it comes to mentorship, I like to define it as being a trusted and meaningful bi-directional relationship that allows one to grow, develop personally, and also professionally as well. I think we got to look at mentorship as being, not a one-time conversation, right? We have to realize that it's truly rooted in trust, growth, and also shared purpose, right? Now that we have the definition of mentorship, I really want to dive into why it's important, right? I think we all know why, but let's just really look at why it's important today. When it comes to mentorship, in our profession, when it comes from transitioning from a student to a doctor, it's tough. I mean, you have to look at having the right clinical skills. You have to have the right business acumen. You have to be able to communicate. You have to be resilient. You got to remember, we help people with the most precious sense known to mankind, which is sight. And we are truly the gatekeepers into the healthcare system. So it's very tough to go from a student to an optometrist. So it's important to always make sure that we understand why it's important to have to be a part of mentorship. But some of the whys are it fills in the gaps that they didn't teach in school. It helps you to avoid costly mistakes. It helps you to produce the best health outcomes. And it also provides emotional support. So it's very important to make sure you understand the why behind mentorship. Now, I want to share with you a couple of stats that I think is staggering, because if you don't have a mentor today, you need to go out and get one. But I know everyone on this call has one because of AFOS, right? But 80% of healthcare students with mentors feel more confidently whenever they're in the clinic. That's huge because we have to show confidence when we're talking to our patients. Mentor students are 2.5 times more likely to be prepared for real world care. 61% of healthcare students say mentors influence their career path. And something that I think is very important is that 30% of students feel that mentorship reduces stress and burnout. And we live in a world right now where there's a lot going on, and it's very important to make sure that we don't burn out and that we stay not stressed because our patients are relying on us. So I want us to understand that, it's value. It's important to recognize that mentorship is not just about receiving, it's also about learning from those who we guide. So when you think about that, I mentioned relationship. A relationship is bidirectional. It's not just a mentee. There's also a mentor. Mentee learns from a mentor, but a mentor also learns from a mentee. So it's important when you make this commitment that you truly make the commitment. Because not only are you learning from but you're going to gain a lot of knowledge from someone, but that person is also learning from you. So let's break it down. What does it take to really become a great mentee? Well, I think you have to do your part. You have to be what I like to call the 3 C's. You have to be curious. Show up with questions. You can just show up to hang out with your mentor and not be. What is your end game? What is your goal? I always like to start at the end and work my way back from there. So make sure that you stay curious. You also want to make sure that you're coachable. You do not know everything. You have only lived on this earth for a small amount of time. So it's very important to be coachable. And that's the reason why you have a mentor. That way they can coach you and help mold you and give you all the right tools and resources to be successful. But the most important part, I think, of these 3 C's is being committed. You have to show up. You have to make sure that you set the cadence of what works for you, but also what works for your mentor as well. You want to make sure that you demonstrate growth over time and you share these things with your mentor as you continue to grow. I advise that whenever you do develop your mentorship program or whoever you have a mentorship with, that you really create a journal. You create something that you can look back and see your growth over time and make sure that you highlight that with your mentor as well. Now, as I mentioned before, mentorship is bidirectional. So it's not just the mentee that's learning from the situation, it's also the mentor. And I had the opportunity to actually interview 5 amazing students. They don't know this, but they served as my mentor while I was interviewing them. I learned so much from them. So although you may be a mentee, know that you also play the role as a mentor. You will at some point in your life, whether it's directly or indirectly, like students did that I had the opportunity to interview and learn so much from. Now, when it comes to becoming a great mentor, it's very important to be present, right? You have to be there. You don't have to have all the answers as a mentor. You just have to have the willingness to sit back and listen and help guide the mentee that's sitting in front of you. Never act like you know it all. We don't. It's okay to look up the things. It's okay to circle back. But the main thing that mentee wants you to do is sit. As a mentor, it's important to really ask questions, right? You got to probe. It's no different from sitting in that exam lane and talking to that patient, getting to learn their lifestyle so you can prescribe the right solutions in the exam room. You got to ask questions to your mentees. You want to make sure that they know that you're there, but you want to really spark a light in them, and you want to make sure that you're giving them everything that they need. And the more questions you ask, the more they're going to feel like you're not giving them instructions and you're eager to learn more about them to help them as well. Another thing we want to look at when it comes to mentorship is you have to adapt to the style of the person that's sitting in front of you. You cannot just mentor in a way that you feel how you understand information. You have to really understand that person that's sitting in front of you. How can you communicate with them in a way that they understand exactly what you're trying to get across to them? You have to learn that person. And that takes just sitting and having a conversation, not just talking about their goals, but maybe understand where do they come from? What are they like? Who is their family? Where are they from? Get to know that person that's sitting in front of you whenever you're a mentor, because it goes a long way because of a train. And something that I love, Levi asked the question, and I think all mentors should do this, is to share your failures. No one is perfect. There's been tons of times that I've messed up. I just shared with you guys that I didn't get into optometry school right away. It took me 3 years. When I was in optometry school, it was hard as hell. It was one of the toughest things I've ever done in my life. And when I graduated out of optometry school, I didn't feel as confident just simply because I didn't know what I was doing, right? I had a good overview, but I still felt like I needed some additional help. And it made me feel confident to be able to go out there and prescribe the right solutions for my patients. Now, I know you may be asking, we understand how to be a great mentee. We understand how to be a great mentor. We understand that it's bi-directional, but how do we find these mentors? Well, it's pretty simple. It starts today by just opening up your mouth and having a conversation, by just reaching out to people and asking them, will you mentor me? The worst they can say is no. But I think it's important to make sure that you warm up the bus before you just go directly for the ask. And a prime example of that is just connecting with people on LinkedIn, a friend on there, or follow me, and make sure you start having that conversation early. Maybe comment on their posts. Figure out something where you fall in front of that mentor that you want and make sure that they realize you're adding value to them and you're not just trying to take something away from them. If you can connect with someone virtually, imagine what it will be like when you actually meet them in person, how much stronger that relationship is. Anywhere you go, you can find mentors. I love what you stated earlier, to have mentors not just in eye care, but outside of eye care. It's important to have a mentor when it comes to your physical health. It's important to have a mentor when it comes to your financial health. It's important to have a mentor when it comes to your spiritual health. You want to make sure that you're covered all around. But the main thing is just get out there, have a voice, and say something to be able to find that mentor. Now, what I want to do is give a special shout out to Levi for giving me the opportunity to hang out today and have this conversation with you. I can't wait to see you when you come back to the States. I don't know if you could check this out, but I'm representing the pen that you gave me. I take eye care in Africa seriously.
That's
I had
great.
the opportunity to live in Nigeria, and I had my license out there to practice. I had to practice out there for a couple of years, and I still do a lot of consulting in that area. So Africa is a part of my DNA. My mother's from Liberia, my wife is from Nigeria, so I take eye care in Africa seriously. And as Levi had mentioned, just reach out. I am here to serve you to make sure that this profession continues to move forward in a great way with the amazing bright minds out there. So again, I just want to say, you're never too experienced to need a mentor, and it's never too early to become one. So make sure that you go out there and do mentorship right. Thank you so much for the opportunity to have this conversation with you today. And again, congratulations. Happy 1-year anniversary.
That's very wonderful. Thank you very much, Dr. Darrow, for your presentation. I must say, as someone who is a recent graduate from the optometry school here in Ghana, I have very much experience on what it takes to have a mentor in your life, and what it takes to have someone help to shape your way of practice of optometry in Africa. So I really, really do agree with you on what you say. In fact, every single point on what you say. Personally, when I was in school, I had people to call on when I needed help with my research work, when I needed help with. Sometimes I get the opportunity to see people in the clinic, and then you realize that you are messing up. You come back to your room, you have to go back to the books, get in touch with your mentor, tell them that I met this patient, this were what I saw, this how I messed up, what should be done next time. And then it's helping shape what I do in my clinic now here in Ghana as an intern, and it really goes a long way. So I do agree with you, and I believe that each and every one of us should have a mentor in our lives. Please do. So if anyone has any question for Dr. Darrow, please do well to bring it up. If you are unable to speak up, kindly share it in the chat box. I'll read it out for you, and then we would continue from there. Mind you, coming up is also the breakout session to allow students to also interact. Dr. Dina is also here to help us out with what it takes to volunteer in your community in optometry. So right after the question and answers, we'll take it from there. Please do all interact with each other. I'm not seeing any question in the chat box.
Just a hand up there, Nathaniel. Just a hand raised.
Okay, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. I want to say kudos to AFOS for making today a reality. It's a very big joy to me. Thank you, Dr. Levi, the outgoing ESCOs and the incoming ESCOs. Above all, I just want to say thank you, Dr. Dario Clover. You've been a protege that I've been following very succinctly on LinkedIn, Facebook, and all the social media platforms where we meet without knowing each other. Thanks, AFOS, for bringing two of us together today. And I just want to say thanks for the section on mentoring and mentee exercise. This is actually something that the African optometry growing student community needs. You have really hit it at the point. Thank you so much. I just wanted to use this opportunity to say this thank you especially on behalf of myself and the students and AFOS in general. Thank you.
And you know what? I'm gonna say thank you because without you guys, there would be no me. We're in this together, you guys. This is one big family. I don't care if you're on any continent in the world. At the end of the day, we are one family. It is one profession, and we're going to continue to push the world together. Remember, we are the gatekeepers into the healthcare system. The work that you do in that exam room, the work that you do outside of that exam room is life-changing. And once you start practicing, you'll be blown away by just the letters, the hugs, the cakes, the gifts, the love that you will receive. You will now have new families that are called patients. So just continue the great work and continue to be mentees, but I challenge everyone to be a mentor as well and make sure that you always pay it forward also.
All right, thank you very much. Well, let me take the bold step to ask you, Dr. Darrell, if this would be the best opportunity to ask you to, be our mentor for even AFOS, be one of our mentors for AFOS, the program that we run. If there is any help you can help us on, we would be very happy to call on you. So there's a bold thing, asking on behalf of the whole AFOS community. If you do want to be our mentor, if we want to be your mentee, and we'll be very glad for you to help us with that. So thank you very much. Well, please, what do you have to say on that?
Well, you know what? I would call my brother from another mother, OB Malopi, and I'm gonna speak on behalf of him and I, on behalf of Africa Media. What we would like to do is create what we call a mentor tree, where we will set up a webinar, and him and I will take any questions that you have and maybe carve out 30 minutes, and maybe it's something that we can do on a quarterly cadence. That way we can mentor the masses and answer any questions and learn from you guys as well. So we'll connect with Levi and make that magic happen. But again, we're here to push the profession forward. Anything we can do, we're going to make that happen. Thank you for the opportunity.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Dr. Dow. We really appreciate it. So we'll move on. We would break out very soon. However, there is an amazing student here in the name of the Dean, Dina, sorry. Just a very quick one. Kindly address us volunteering in optometry, what it means for you, what it means for a student to volunteer in your community in optometry. So if you are here, kindly unmute yourself and then please take the floor. Thank you.
Hello, thank you guys so much for having me here. It's been so inspiring to hear everything that you guys have to say and to get to celebrate this with you guys. My name's Deanna. I am almost a fourth year student at the Kentucky College of Optometry, and I served as AFOS president my second year of school. And it was easily the most rewarding thing and my favorite thing about optometry school, getting to help out in my community. I've done, I think, 5 free clinics here with my school. So it's all super local to me, and I've done 2 internationally. And just seeing the way that we can help people in these communities has been life-changing for me and life-changing for them as well. And I've learned so much about myself, about how to set up those free clinics and about how to volunteer. I've made some amazing connections. So I think that it's been probably the best thing I've done all throughout school, something I couldn't recommend enough to people. We've done, I don't know if you guys have heard, remote area medical there nationally. Hopefully they'll expand out later. We've done a lot of work with them, and we've traveled to Honduras twice to set up clinics pretty much from the ground up there. So I've learned how to take all of our trial frame sets and not working out of a clinic. So I've learned to adapt through that as well. And it's just been absolutely amazing opportunities. And I would love to connect with you guys as well. So I can put my email and my Instagram in the chat if you guys would like to connect that way too. But thank you again for having me.
Thank you very much, Dina. Yes, we would love to connect with you. So please do go ahead, put in your email, your social media handles, LinkedIn, Instagram, X. Let us reach out, let us connect, and then we'll definitely make a very nice network there. So thank you very much, Dina. This is a cue to each and every one of us to put yourself out there, involve yourself in volunteering, and then I believe there are lots of things you can learn from putting yourself to serve the community and then to serve each other. Yeah, thank you. So we would move to the breakout session. Please, at the beginning of the program, I did say that this is going to be student-centered. This is going to be an opportunity to meet someone from a different country. For those of us who joined in late, I placed an embargo on the fact that you are not leaving this place without making a friend from another country. The new friend you are making should not be from your country. It should be from another country, and learn how to say welcome in their local dialect, in their local language. So when we break out into the breakout rooms, please, we are going to discuss something about networking, choosing a buddy, following each other on social media, get to interact with each other. We are going to talk about reflections on what we have learned today, right from Obi to Dr. Darrell to what Dina just said. What are your reflections? What are your takes on it? And what it means to volunteer in your community? How is the practice of optometry for you as a student in your country? What are the challenges? What are the breakthroughs? What do you think you can do to help optometry practice in your country be a better one? So we'll break out very soon. Make sure you join a room, and then we'll come back after a very long period of time. Again, the breakout session is going to take long because we want this to be student-centered. So please involve yourself, contribute, get to know someone, and then choose the buddy should be the most interesting of all. I am definitely going to do my best to get a buddy. Someone should also do that. Thank you very, very much. So the host will break us into our various rooms very soon. Nice meeting all of you. We will get back here and then we'll take you from there. Thank you. I think Dr. Levi, I feel you can take it from here.
Yeah, thanks, Nathaniel. So how long are you hoping for this to last so we can put the time on it?
Okay, so hopefully about 30 to 35 minutes.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so we'll break you guys into rooms. Please accept the invitation when it comes to you. And like Nathaniel said, start talking. That's the essence of this connection. AFOS 1 year is connecting the students. So once it comes, please accept the invitation. We're gonna have 4 rooms. Yep, so we'll have 5 rooms, sorry. So 5 rooms based on the numbers here. So I'll just make sure that we have all the leaders different. So if you find yourself in one room and you're one of the executives and another person is there, please hop off and we'll put you in a different room. We want somebody taking care and monitoring and taking notes of what the discussions are. So the rooms are open now. If you can accept the invite, you'll be heading into one room. One of the AFOS members, executives will then share that occasion there. So this automatic allocation, in case 2 executives find themselves in one room, please, one person should hop off and let me know, we can put you into a different room. You've got older colleagues there, senior colleagues to also guide you and help you ask questions and learn from the experience too. Maria is here for anything volunteering. She's a champion. So ask her the question. For those who have just joined, accept the invitation and join a room. it's time for discussion. It's a breakout session for chatting. Yeah, for those who are still here, you've got an invite to just accept. The invite is on your screen. Accept it. It will take you to a room. You need to be in another room now. We'll be chatting with the students. So just accept the invite and you will join one of those rooms that have been allocated to you.
Sir, Dr. Levi.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, breakout on 4, but we're still executives there.
Okay, so I'll bump you up then. I'll take you to a different room now. If that's okay.
Sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Chinelo, you can join room 2. I think you're the one to be there. No other executive is in room 2. Bato is in room 3, but no. For those who are still not joined, just accept the invitation. You'll be in one room. Just click on accept and join the room.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Please,
Are you in any room?
Genevieve, me again so I can join.
Okay, can you join?
I need the invitation again so I can
Okay.
join the room.
No worries. I'll say that Jennifer.
Sir, I need to get another invitation.
Yeah, and who is it?
This is Daniel, Academy Director.
Yeah, so Daniel, you're still in one room. You're not on us. You're in one room. Is it just leave the room? Exit the room.
I yes, I just left the room.
Yeah, okay. I'll see when you come back here. Hi, Osita, Lynn, Mohere, you guys can join the room. The room is open. Gima, Isaiah, Timon, you guys can join one of the rooms. Sarah, you can accept the invitation now. It's coming. Join the room. You're in room 5. And that will take you to the discussion room.
In prayer. Let's pray. Thank you, Lord, for this session we've had, the 1-year anniversary celebration as AFOS. Thank you for achievements that you've managed to get this far, and thank you for the milestones that you're going to make from now henceforth. Guide us through every session, every step of the way. It is in Jesus' name we pray, believing and trusting. Amen.
Amen.
Thank
Good
you
night.
very much. Have a good night, have a good day, have a good morning from wherever you join from. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.